Welcome to South Coast Radio, and today we're chatting to one of South Africa's exciting and upcoming singer songwriters. Hailing from Cape Town, Liam Cova has quickly built a name for himself with his heartfelt songwriting, soulful vocals, and engaging live performances. After starting out as a street performer in 2024, Liam has continued to grow his fan base with a string of successful singles, earning the nickname Cape Town's very own Ed Sheeran. His music has found its way onto South African radio charts, including South Coast Radio, and he is currently performing internationally in Greece. And now he's back with his sixth single called Save Me, an indie pop anthem that encourages listeners to stay true to themselves rather than changing who they are to find love. So let's welcome to the show Liam Cova. Liam, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, Liam. It's really great to have you with us on the show today. So let's start at the beginning. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how your passion for music first began?
Yes, so I think, as with many artists, my passion for music and my story, I'd say, began back in the church. Both my parents were very much very involved in the church, and myself and my brother would sing in the Sunday school choir. And later on in primary school, we took up the guitar and began playing for certain events in church and in school.
Yeah.
Such as like prize givings and such. And that's where we found a renewed love for music, in that we started developing our own taste in music as well, started learning our own songs, maybe songs that our parents don't listen to. And as the years went on, we did some solos, some performances here and there. And throughout my high school career is when I started focusing on singing a bit more, did it more for fun. And in university, started experimenting with performing in public with my friends. We would just randomly get together during like study breaks and play at like the piano that was out there in the study hall. And that is where things really took off for me, is after university, where I decided to give myself a year to pursue music. And I started out as a street musician, as you've mentioned before.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And that's where things picked up.
That's awesome stuff, Liam. And you started your music career as a busker in Cape Town, like we spoke now. What was that experience like, and how did it help shape you as an artist?
It was initially very challenging. I mean, it was difficult to overcome the embarrassing feeling of it, because busking and it's for those who don't know, busking is the term used for street musicians who set up there and put their basket out and just play in random public spaces. So it's a very difficult audience to reach to.
True, yes, it is.
I mean, it's people that doesn't expect to see you and to hear live music in such a space.
Yeah.
So it was difficult to overcome that initial embarrassment and the feeling of embarrassment. But eventually, once I started gaining more confidence, I started being able to engage with the audience a bit more. And it was a very good experience for me, because at the end of the day, I think it's where my confidence came from and where my stage presence came from at the end of the day. And yes, knowing that I could perform in such a space just gave me confidence to perform in front of larger crowds at the end of the day.
Awesome. So your songwriting has really connected with listeners. Where do you usually find inspiration when writing your songs?
So all my songs, apart from one, come from a very personal place. They're all drawn from personal experiences in my life. And the exception song is a song that was written by someone else that I happened to just jump on.
Yeah.
But the rest of the music is very personal to me, and it is essentially is messages that I would like to put out into the world, hoping to find people that are able to relate to my music, and that can draw some hope and inspiration from the music. That's
100%. That's great stuff, Liam. And now you're currently performing in Greece on a 6th-month contract. How has that experience been, and what have you learned from performing for international audiences?
It has been a very exciting experience. Very exciting. It's my first time ever that I've been out of my country, of South Africa, and everything is just so different here. It's really awesome to be able to see what is possible this side, and yes, performing for overseas audiences has also been quite a awesome experience. I've been fortunate enough to be able to perform for a lot of foreigners back home for certain events and for at certain locations. You tend to find them a lot in Cape Town. So it's not completely new, but it is something different this side in the sense that people are just more, they are very attentive when you are performing, and oftentimes it's you don't find yourself being background music as it is a lot at home. So they're very attentive this side, and it can be both overwhelming and encouraging. So yes, it's been a fun experience.
Wow. So let's talk about your brand new single called Save Me. What inspired the song, and what story are you telling through it?
So Save Me is a once again a very personal to my experiences and true to my experiences. And it is a song about essentially how my girlfriend, she saved me from becoming someone that I am not. So before meeting her, I found myself in a space where I felt that I needed to change who I am, essentially, just to find love. And I feel that a lot of young people find themselves in that position where they become hopeless and they are running out of patience, in a sense, feel that they need to change who they are fundamentally in order to find someone. And this song is just a message to those people to remain patient, to remain true to who you are. There is someone that is going to come along and save you, in a sense.
Awesome. And so one of the strongest messages in Save Me is about staying true to yourself instead of changing to be accepted or loved. Why was that an important message for you to share?
Because I feel that God all created us with a personality, and with a certain personality for a reason, and that He has a purpose for us through that personality. And if you were to change who you are fundamentally, you would essentially be throwing away that potential that God has planned for you. And I think also I just would like to just touch on that. I think the message could be also misinterpreted, and that is that yes, love is at the end of the day supposed to change you for the better, but who you are fundamentally at the core is something that you shouldn't change.
Great stuff, Liam. So the song has a unique blend of indie pop, blues, and soul. Can you tell us a little bit about the musical style and what listeners can expect when they hear it?
So initially, when I heard the song back from my producer, I had no idea what genre it was. I think indie pop is a very broad genre, but there are definitely elements of blues and soul, like you've mentioned. I've been told by people on social media that it sounds very much like Bruno Mars or what's this other artist, like the Jonas Brothers. So if you
Yeah.
if you know those artists, perhaps I think that's the type of sound and style that should come to mind.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a bit different to compare to my other songs. My other songs are a bit more folky, a bit more indie.
Yeah.
But with this one, I decided to go with a more pop and more catchy beat. Yeah.
Great stuff, Liam. And so you also worked with producer Ibrahim Malam on this release. What was that collaboration like, and how did he help bring the song to life?
So Ibrahim Malam is an awesome guy. He's a brilliant producer.
Mhm.
He's also based in Cape Town and amazing to work with. I was fortunate enough to be part of this NPO where a bunch of upcoming talents in Cape Town were given the opportunity to learn songwriting.
Yeah.
And through the songwriting course, we could produce and have our own track recorded. And I happened to be connected to Ibrahim through this songwriting course during that time, and could record my first single with him, Kiss These Scars. And he immediately made me feel comfortable. I mean, it was a very overwhelming experience at first, because it's my first time in the studio. And he made me feel comfortable, and which allowed me to express and to express myself in the studio through my music to the fullest. And it eventually led to more collaborations afterwards, and yeah, we find ourselves today.
Great stuff, Liam. And so, just as you mentioned, one of a few songs. So, your debut single "Kiss These Scars" has achieved thousands of streams, and songs like "Worry, See" and "Say So" have received radio airplay. Looking back so far, what moments have meant the most to you?
I'd say definitely the release of my first single. To just get so much positive feedback on it from my friends and family, and from people that were listening to my music for the first time. It was very inspiring. And then I think, yeah, towards the end of last year, it was the year before, I entered a songwriting competition. So this was something I've never done before. It's something that I wasn't too sure about myself on, in terms of I wasn't so sure in my songwriting ability. But I was fortunate enough and blessed to win this competition. And it was the first time that I ever won a competition that is based solely on songwriting, and not specifically performance or the ability of your voice, basically. The competition was solely based on the song itself,
Yeah.
and that's something that gave me a lot of confidence to continue writing. And since then, I've just written like so many songs, and I can't wait to share it with everybody.
Wow, really looking forward to what's coming next. So, with Save Me now out, and your music reaching more listeners, what can fans look forward to from you in the months ahead?
So for the next month, I will be working on my next song. I don't think I've told this to a lot of people, but I'm currently working on learning to produce my own songs, and possibly the next one will be produced by myself. So that is a bit of it's exciting. It's a bit of a unknown territory. And I'm excited to see what comes from that. But I'll definitely be still releasing a lot more music this year, and I'm not too sure if I'll be getting to an EP just yet. I think for now I'll just be experimenting with different singles, different styles, slightly different styles of music, and trying to see what sticks.
Fantastic, Liam. And so, before we let you go, what message would you like to leave with listeners who may be struggling with self doubt or feeling pressure to change who they are?
So I'd say that it's a very uncomfortable process to be able to just be yourself in front of people and to really just be okay with not being accepted all the time. It is very difficult, but I can tell them that it is definitely worth it once you find that person who accepts you despite all of your insecurities. It is definitely worth the wait.
Great stuff, Liam. Just one more question before we close off with the interview. Where can the listeners find your music, such as Save Me, as well as your other music, and follow you online?
So you can find me on all the different social platforms, and I use the same username throughout. It is Liam Cova Music. So that is Liam Cova Music.
Music.
And on the streaming platforms as well, you can find me under the name Liam Cova.
Fantastic, Liam. Thank you so much once again for joining us today and sharing your journey with us. It's really great to have you with us once again on the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Really great having you with us on the show today, Liam. And to the listeners, that is South African indie pop singer, songwriter Liam Cova, talking about his musical journey and his brand new single called Save Me. And the song is available now on all major streaming platforms, as is mentioned. So be sure to give it a listen and support one of South Africa's rising musical talents.
The radio station you can't live without. This is your radio.
This is South Coast Radio.